Hi, Adele. Can you hear me okay? Oh, you're just muted.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. And you can hear me? Because Zoom just gave me a really scary thing saying that like my audio isn't.
That happens sometimes. No, I can hear you great.
Amazing. And we already have some people joining us. So
Yay.
hello, everyone. So happy to have you back, Adele. I've actually been getting loads of emails from people that have been watching our series so far and saying like, oh, like there's no August date. So we have Adele 2 times in September, which I think is really perfect. She's been walking us through some really powerful insights and exercises around self-development and how we can really apply that to our professional lives as well. And so what I was hoping for today is to kind of continue that conversation around manifestation. And since it's September, which is kind of the other beginning of the year, and kind of in a way post-COVID, we're kind of coming out of hopefully that episode. So I think that a lot of us have this kind of pull to, go, go, go. It's September, got to start this, got to launch this. Like we're all, summer's over, babe, let's go. But I also want to get your take on, is that the right approach? And should it, like, how can we make this launch into this next chapter still feel easy and nourishing and in flow?
Oh, yes, all the things.
All the
By the way, hi everyone. How many people do we have on here today? 7?
Right now we have 7 in total, yes.
Awesome. Okay, wonderful. So let's talk about manifestation. Okay, but before we do, and I'm going to get something because I'm going to get a book in a minute, but because I'm going to read a couple things here for you today. But what I wanted to say about that is we have to move, I think we have to start by moving out of the mindset of like, it's September, so I should do stuff. Like there's this paradigm of like, and it actually speaks to how a lot of people do things. Like I'll start the diet tomorrow. It's September, I should be doing something now. There's this fits and start kind of mindset that people have. But like what I teach is all about mastering your mindset and a successful mindset. A successful mindset's about consistency. It's about consistency, lady. Is it just ladies on this call, I'm assuming? Maybe one gentleman. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about consistency. It's about, here's the thing. When you're looking at rewiring the brain, which is everything that I work on, and I'll share at the end of this call an opportunity to do my next 4-week program for those of you who are interested, because it's almost sold out, and we'll talk about that after. But when you're looking at training your brain, retraining your brain, it requires 90 days, write that down, 90 days of consistent and habitual action to rewire your paradigm. What's a paradigm? It's a consistent set of beliefs and habits. That's all it is. And if you're someone that is like, oh, I'll start tomorrow, or, summer's over, babe, let's get going, right? Which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with any of it. So move yourself out of there's something wrong, and look at, when you look at mastering something, or when you look at success as an example, I've been studying successful people for like over a decade. There's one thing that they have in common. It's like they wake up every day and they best their best. They best their best every day. They're not like, okay, like it's the summer, I'm going to do, and take your time off. You need to have your self-care time. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that you need to move out of this mindset that, oh, there's always a reason why you can't. There's always a reason why you can't. And you have to start to wire, what is it that I really want? Remember that question I asked you? I don't know if it was last time or the time before. Who knows? It's been a time warp. COVID's been like, I said to my fiance the other day, I'm like, have we been in this for like 3 years? I don't even know anymore, okay? It's mainly because I've been so busy and like doing all the things I love. But for me, I wake up every day and I say to myself, I get to do what I love. I get to do what I love. So it's not work for me. It's like, it's just part of who I am. Just like your exercise routine might be, or eating a certain way. And it has to be like that when it comes to your goal. Because if you have a big goal, it's over here. And you might be over here in relation to your goal. Maybe your goal is an income goal. Maybe your goal is to start a course. Maybe your goal is a certain amount of clients or patients or whatever, but you're not at the goal yet. And so it requires, like we've talked about, different levels of awareness, different levels, different layers and jumps to get to where you are. You have to be in resonance with the goal. Does that make sense? Your goal is on a frequency, and you're here. Now, most people don't get to their goal because they do stuff like, I'll start tomorrow, or they get distracted, or they do shiny object syndrome. But the key is every day to set yourself up with, how am I going to best my best today? What can I do to bring me closer to my goal? And we're going to talk about that as we talk about manifestation a little bit today, but it really does start with shifting your mindset. Like, how many of you, if you're being honest, are like, ugh, I have to do this marketing page, or ugh, I have to write a post, or ugh, I got to do this. And that's the energy you're bringing to doing it. And I taught one of the classes I teach, I taught today, and we talked about that, and it's actually a perfect teaching for our conversation, is you get to choose how you feel every day. I choose how I feel. That needs to be your mantra for today's class. I choose how I feel. What do I mean by that? I mean that for most people, we've talked about choosing how you think, right? We've talked about how your thoughts create your reality. But it's not just your thoughts that create your reality. It's your thoughts plus your emotions that create your reality. And for most people, they're constantly reacting to the circumstances, the news, the election, this, COVID, and they're literally, who can like, just even put in the chat, who can relate to being a ping pong ball right now? Okay. I feel like a squirrel sometimes. Yeah. Constant. Now let me tell you something. You need to start to you need to bring your brain and your heart and your head and your actions into alignment, because there is no way to manifest what you want if you're constantly doing distractions. I had a coach mentor tell me once, Adele, distractions are distractions. I don't care what they are. Distractions are distractions. And I think we talked about this in one of our sessions, but the closer you get to your goal, especially if it scares you a little bit, like if you have an income goal that scares you, or you have a business goal that scares you, or you have a certain amount of client goal, you're going to reach what we call the terror barrier. Did we talk about that in class? Oh my God. Okay. Your terror barrier, this is so cool. And that's probably where most of you on the call are right now, because if you're actually moving away from your safety and you're going towards what you want, you're going to have the environment, the universe, totally try to distract you. Your mom calls, she's sick. Your brother calls, he has an emergency. Like, I'm not kidding you. You have to start to see, you have to think, how is this all happening? Cause and effect. Everything's cause and effect. You're scared, and then you're creating a situation to be scared. So your terror barriers, like, here you are now, and here's your goal. And maybe your goal is huge. And as you move away from where you are now, you get to what you grow past, people call it your comfort zone. I call it your terror barrier. What happens when you reach your terror barrier, what it means is, remember, your subconscious mind is all about keeping you safe and the same. Your ego just wants you to be the same. It doesn't want you to make $1 million. It doesn't even want you to make $100,000. It doesn't want you. It wants you to do the pattern it knows, the recognition of the pattern it knows, not the new thing. It doesn't want you to do the new thing. So as you move away from safety, I say safety, air quotes, you know that by now, because there's no place that's safe, like you've created that illusion in your mind, but you move away from safety, you get to this place called the terror barrier, where it literally feels like there's an earthquake happening around you, because it's trying to get you to go back. But can I tell you something? You can't go back. There's no going back. Because awareness is not memory. Awareness is learning. It's increasing your level of consciousness. It's not like memory where you learn an algebra equation and you forget it the next day. You can't go back. So you have to push through the terror barrier to have what we call a breakthrough. And the terror barrier feels scary. It feels like your mom calls, she's sick, your brother calls this, your internet broke, your paper you were writing deleted, like all the shit that happens. And most people want to go back to shore and they quit. But the key here is to keep moving forward. And that requires consistency, dedication, commitment every day, besting your best every day, doing what you need to do that day to the best of your ability, notwithstanding how you might feel. And that triggers people sometimes. They're like, but I have cramps or I have a stomach ache. I do too. But you have a choice. I can choose to focus on the stomach ache, or I can say, I made a commitment to be here today. I'm going to do that. And it's when you do that, when you do the new thing, when you actually, you rewire your brain when you do the new thing. Does that make sense? I was telling the story to my class this morning. Every morning I go for a nature walk and I meditate and I do like a podcast and all this fun stuff. It's my like morning routine, part of my morning routine. My morning routine sometimes takes me 2 hours, but anyway, and I literally, guys, almost got hit by a car 3 times, 3 different cars. Like I was walking and and I was like, interesting. So if I wasn't a student of this work, I would like have freaked out. And I had a class to teach like an hour later. And I was like, what is happening here? And what I got was, I'm at my terror barrier right now because I'm about to like have a quantum leap in my life and my business. Like lots has happened. And it was like the universe is like creating all this crazy stuff. And I just took a breath and I was like, oh, that's what it is. It's trying to throw me off my game. Your ego, ladies, your subconscious mind is constantly trying to keep you the same. So it's going to require a lot more than maybe what you're currently doing to get there. And I don't mean more effort. I actually mean it's not more effort. It's more commitment. So do you hear the difference? It's not work 13 hours a day. I never work 13 hours a day. I work 4 hours a day, maximum. But the work that I do is the effort and the commitment and like the consistency of it is what matters. So it's not about grinding. It's about you have to be more and to get more, to do more. You need to become a higher version of yourself. You need to, in those moments where you're scared, say, that's just my ego. It's trying to keep me the same. It's trying to keep me safe. It's commitment. Commitment is like you do it, if any of you are married on this call, you make a commitment to your partner and there are days that you don't like them. Do you divorce every time you don't like somebody? It's funny, but it's true, but you do that with your goal. Do you know how many people in my class are like, they pick a goal for the program and they're like, oh, I changed my goal the next day. And I'm like, how are you hoping to manifest the goal when you keep changing it? Okay? So commitment, consistency, 90 days, consistency. I'm going to give you guys a little challenge to do for 90 days because it's about rewiring the belief. See, a lot of you have a belief, I'm a quitter. I don't get things done. Who here has a belief that I'm someone that doesn't get things done? Or I make a promise to myself and I always break it? Yeah. Well, then you need to rewire that and go, no, I honor my word no matter what. Rain, shine, election, COVID, it doesn't matter. Now, I'm speaking to you because you guys are the elite. Like, I'm not speaking to you like ordinary people. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this webinar series. Like, this is triggering for people because they're like, but what if I am sad that day? Or what if something is happening? And it doesn't mean you don't honor what's happening if it's a really big emergency. But you got to be honest, radical honesty. What are the real emergencies happening in your life right now? Really? So when you set yourself up like that, you set yourself up to win. When you can, for 90 days, make a commitment to yourself. And here's a couple ideas that I want you to roll around in your head about commitment, what you can commit to. So you can commit to a couple things. For 90 days, you can say, pick one thing. Every day for the next 90 days, I'll give you an example of something that one of my students committed to. I'm going to walk 30 minutes every day and listen to a podcast. 30 minutes every day. Now here's the thing. If you break that one day, let's say it's raining and you decide not to go, that's cool. The next day you start back at day one. Because you need to wire your brain for consistency and integrity and honoring your word. So pick something that you can do, whether it's meditation or going for a walk or I don't know, whatever it is that you need to do to move yourself closer to your goal every day for the next 90 days. Now I'm going to give you a bonus commitment that you can make if you really want to have a breakthrough and radical breakthrough in your life. Do you guys want to do that? Okay. I would even do this for the next week because it's really hard, this one. For the next 7 days, I want you all to focus on what you want and not talk about what you don't want. I'll say it again. For the next 7 days, you're going to talk only about what you want and you're not going to talk about what you don't want to experience. What does that mean? You're not talking about debt. You're not talking about your credit card bills. You're not talking about the client that didn't show up to the session. You're not talking about the 10 pounds you gained on COVID. You're not talking about, you're not. You're only talking into and speaking into what you want. I want to earn this. I want 7 new patients or clients. I want to shed 10 pounds. I want to work out every day. I want. If you do this one thing, your whole life will change. And you will start to see when you do this and you set that commitment for yourself. It's not easy. Like, honestly, I do this work every day and it's not easy because your brain is geared to look at what you don't have, the lack, the scarcity. And you need to start to build that part of yourself that's like, no, I'm only talking about what I want. And if that scares you, then you should double down on that. So can you see the value? Can you just take a look for yourself for a minute? What would my life look like if I only talked about what I want to experience? What about for you, Kiki? Like, what would your life look like if you only talked about what you want to experience?
Well, right away, I just thought it would be more joyful and positive. I think that I would be more magnetic to others because everyone likes to be around kind of positive, inspiring people. Not to say that I'm the opposite of that now, but definitely there's room for improvement. And I think that you spoke about emotions. I think I would be happier because there would be a sense of looking forward towards goodness rather than worrying about the negatives.
Totally. All of that. But here's the biggest reason why you want to do that is when you're focusing on what you do. So you have to remember this. This is like lesson 1 of my teachings. But we're going to go back because it's really important. Your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is fertile soil. It will grow whatever you plant. It's deductive in nature. What does that mean? It doesn't care if you're planting positive or negative. It's not moral. So if you're thinking about the money you don't have, the body you don't have, the relationship you don't have, it amplifies that. It amplifies it. It's like planting an eggplant and hoping that a tomato grows. It's just not going to happen. So you have to speak into your subconscious mind. What do you want? What do you want? Yeah.
Is there a certain way that you should think about your want so it doesn't feel like it's a yearning that like you don't have? Do you know what I mean? Like versus like, oh, like, you know, I can't wait until this launches, versus like, oh, I really want this to launch, like almost from like you're feeling this lack?
Yeah, totally. Great question. So I use want and desire interchangeably. I don't look at want from a place of lack. It's what do you desire? And desire is part of your soul's purpose and expression here on earth. And you need to be, I'm going to read you a little paragraph here from one of my favorite books. You need to be in love and obsessed with your desire. So when I say, what do you want? Don't look at it from like you're lacking it. It's what do you desire? What do you need? What do you want to bring you to the next level? So when you're talking about desire, and that might be right now, I desire, it could be something small. It could be something small. It could be something huge. But it's your soul's expression with and through you. Everybody has a purpose that's linked to your desire. And it's really important to understand that, because your desire is part of your subconscious mind. It's in there, it's kind of been locked up in there. And so when there's something, this is very important, whatever you're doing, like pay attention to what I'm about to say next. If you desire something or want, same thing, it means it's actually already here. It's like it wants you too. And you can write that down. What I want wants me too. What I desire desires me. I'm in resonance, in harmony. Otherwise, you wouldn't desire it. Kiki and I want different things. We have different desires, because my desire is like my unique fingerprint. So when I'm like sitting in my secret thoughts and I'm like, I really want this thing, whether it's a group program, or I want to create this, or I desire freedom, or I desire more of this, I listen to that as like my guiding compass, because it means I'm on a same resonant frequency as the desire. But for most of us, we were taught not to listen to our desire. Yes or yes. That's why you're all tripped up about that whole thing. Like, what if I want as a need? That whole thing is like, there's something wrong with wanting what I want. But I'm going to say something to you all that I think will change your life. It is okay to want what you want. It's your birthright to want what you want. And it has to start with a decision to say, you know what? I'm going to give myself permission today to want what I want. Maybe that's you want a day free for yourself, or you want to go for travel somewhere, or you want to take a course or start a program, or you want to do something else. Like, you have to listen to that intuition inside of yourself. So that's the desire. Now, when we impress that desire into our subconscious mind, and I'll get to that in a minute, how we do that, that then becomes your result, your reality. Because anything that gets impressed into the subconscious mind manifests. And manifestation just means it's being created into form, being brought into physical form. That's all manifestation means. It's not esoteric. It's literally starts with an idea in your mind. You impress it into your subconscious mind through repetition, consistency, holding the right feeling, which we'll talk about, and that creates your result. But you have to give yourself permission to want what you want. If you don't give yourself permission to want what you want, you can't manifest it. It's a block. It's resistance. Can you hear what I'm saying?
Question.
Yeah. Yes.
All I can think, or in addition to what I'm thinking, is, okay, what about those people that they wanted things and it didn't work out? Like, we can all think about those people that is, oh yeah, she really wanted to do that and it never. What do you think is the answer there? And what should we think about in that case?
Yeah.
So that we don't think that it's like, oh, well, other people want things and they don't get them, so how can just wanting it work?
No, so it's not enough to just want it. That's step one of manifestation. So most people don't know how to manifest. That's why people don't get what they want. It's not because they're not deserving. It's not because they're not intelligent. It's because they're not using the mathematical equation that I'm going to teach you here right now. Okay? So it's not enough to say, I really want a new sports car, but I'm going to sit on my butt at home and watch Netflix. No, that's not how it works. You can't just want it and burn incense and hope it happens. And that's where the law of attraction pisses me off, because as you can tell, because people aren't responsible for, it's not true. You can't just hope it, wish it, burn incense, and then have it. No, it's actually, here's the steps. Step 1, you need to be clear on what you want. And if that triggers you alone, you need to work through why that's triggering you. Because you haven't been given permission to want what you want, and you're making yourself wrong for wanting it. That's what's happening. And you've got to get over that. And we can work through how to get over that. That's what I teach basically in my masterclass, is how do you break through those old paradigms that keep you not even allowing yourself to see that. So it's, what do you want? What's the desire? So pick something specific. I want 20 new patients or clients. I want to earn $10,000 a month. I want to move into a new home. Whatever, pick something. It doesn't even matter what you pick, to be honest. You need to just learn that you're able to do this. Okay, so don't get hung up on, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want is not an answer. What do you want in your secret thoughts? I tell clients, like, what do you tell yourself in your own secret thoughts? You know what you want. Okay, great. So now you figured out what I want. You have to visualize that in your conscious mind. You have to hold the picture of it, the image. Why do I say that? Because your conscious mind thinks in pictures. So you have to see yourself visualizing the car or the house or the relationship or the people or the finances, whatever it is that your goal is. You see it in your mind. You picture it. You usually do this closing your eyes in a meditation. Like, you visualize, the red car that you want to buy or the thing you've always wanted. Now, you hold that vision in your mind. Step 2 is the most important. The only way that you can impress that into your subconscious mind is by feeling the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Write that down. You have to feel in your heart the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So what do I mean by that? I mean, you have to feel an immense amount of gratitude, because imagine if you actually had what you wanted. How would you feel? How would you feel? Grateful, happy, joyful. Yeah. So you have to use gratitude. Gratitude is the emotion of manifestation because it's the highest vibration emotion frequency-wise. It's measured in hertz. So this is actually physics. Different emotions carry different vibrational frequencies, and gratitude is literally like a signal to the universe that you are acting from the place of your wish being fulfilled. So you hold the image in your mind. I'm going to use the red car as an example because it's just easy to visualize, okay? And you feel in your heart, oh my God, I'm so excited about the car. I love the car. Thank you for the car. Thank you, universe, for the car. And then you take action. You take action. What do you need to do to get the car? What do you need to do to make the money? How many sales calls do I need to go make? Who do I need to talk to? What post do I need to write? What webinar do I need to do? What Facebook Live? The action piece is what the whole, I think, law of attraction thing is missing. Is it's not enough to burn incense and hope that it happens. This is why people don't get what they want. Did that answer your question? Yeah. They're not using the formula, which is 2 + 2 + 2 = 6. Meaning your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions all have to be in alignment. Not just your thoughts. How many of you, if you're being honest, and post this in the chat, so you're trying to create something. Maybe you're writing a content post for Instagram, or you're writing a course or whatever. You're seeing a patient, client. And so you're visualizing something, but your feeling is worry, uncertainty, doubt, and resentment. And then you take action on that. Nope. That's not manifestation. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. Gina's like, yeah, like that's why people don't do it. Like, so basically it's like exactly panic and worry. So like you're writing a post, so you're taking the action, but you're literally like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. You're super anxious and you're putting that energy into the post. This might be one of the most important things you ever learn. And I go into this in great detail in my third program. I teach a lot about the science of manifestation, but you need to understand that until you align your thinking, feeling, and acting, you don't get what you want. You send confusion. So when you send confusion to the universe, you get a confused result. So if there's any polarization, it's not a clear signal. So I always say to people, never, ever, ever take action from a place of fear. Go meditate, I teach this 4-step process. Go do something, do something to move you to a different state. Go for a walk or run, go change your physical state, because if you're coming from worry and panic, that is see, words can lie, but energy never lies. And people pick up on your energy. How many times have you done that? Probably even today. So for me, if I'm having an off day or something, I literally am like, what can I go do to shift my state like immediately? And I have a few things I do that I teach and I practice myself, like meditation or a certain kind of meditation. I move myself into a higher vibration. I refocus on what I want. Again, remember the whole thing of focus on what you want, not what you don't want. So I focus on what I want. What's my goal? Great. How do I need to feel? Gratitude. Okay, get into gratitude. Then take action. Does that make sense? Questions?
No, I think that's like mic drop, Adele. That was amazing.
I mean, that's just scratching the surface, but you need, so I'm going to read you something because, so I love this book. It's called You Squared. I don't even know if you can find it, but I teach from this book. It's one of my mentors, Price Pritchett. You don't need to worry about buying the book, but I'm going to read you something, an excerpt from here, and just make some notes on what resonates with you, okay? And it's all about, this book is about making quantum leaps in your performance. What's a quantum leap? It's not a linear, it's not a ×2, it's a ×10. So quantum leap is going from 30,000 in your income to 70,000 in your income. It's going from having a class of people that's 5 to going to 50 people. It's a quantum leap, okay? And it requires a certain mindset, and he talks a lot about desire, and he talks a lot about manifestation in this book, okay? But I'm going to read you the page, his chapters are really like a page, and this one is called Fall in Love, okay? Quantum leaps won't happen if you're living life with a lukewarm heart. Passion is a very important part of the process. It fires the soul and fills the spirit, energizing your heart and mind for the quantum leap to a higher plane of performance. Passion also keeps you going when you're hit with problems and uncertainty. But passion itself must be fueled, and you feed the flame with visions of a dream that is dramatic. The emotional intensity inside must burn hot, enough to protect you against the chilling effects of doubt, uncertainty, and failure. Only deep desire can generate such heat. Just even look at the words he's using. Doesn't it invoke in you something? For you to care this intensely, of course, there must be something worth caring about. Something remarkable, special, and precious enough to light the fire in your heart. Like, ladies, I love what I fucking do. I wouldn't be good at it if I didn't. This means you must loosen the limits on your thinking and give yourself permission to pursue what you want most. Write that down. You have to give yourself permission to pursue what you want most. The climate is right for a quantum leap only when you are passionately drawn to a particular goal. What did I say? You are drawn to your goal and desire because it's part of you. It wants you just as much as you want it. That's what he's saying. So let your deepest desires direct your aim. Set your sights far above the reasonable target. The power of purpose is profound only if you have a desire that stirs the heart. I love this part. Quantum leaps are an act of love, a passionate statement of how you care for the thing you seek. Let the heart take charge of your body. Isn't that beautiful? You have to, when you live your life, you gotta like feel this level of desire. I had a mentor say to me, if you're not in love with a part of your life, you have to change that. You have the choice. Now, I wasn't always in love with everything I did in my job, but I changed it. Like, I was like, that doesn't work anymore. Here's what I want instead. And I went after it and I didn't look back. See, most of you are looking back all the time. You can't look back. You got to look forward. Looking back is the past. For me, it's like, no, I don't want to do 35 one-on-ones anymore. Done. Like, what do I want? 4, great, go. How much am I charging? Good, great, go. Like, done. I don't do all this, should I, shouldn't I? Like, passion, desire, purpose. You all have that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be, everybody has a desire and purpose. That's part of our soul's expression. But you're here on this call for a very specific reason. There's no coincidence who's on this call today. And you have to remember, like, when he says it's an act of quantum leaps, growth, what he's basically saying is growth is an act of love, a passionate statement of how you care for the thing you seek. What's the thing you seek? The desire. The desire. Maybe there's a desire like, I've always wanted to paint and I never gave myself permission to paint. Go paint. Go start a painting course today. Go sign up now. Don't wait. Don't do the I'll do it next week. Or I've always wanted to take kickboxing, or I've always wanted to start an online program. I've always wanted to do a course, or I've always wanted to get my PhD, or I've always wanted, and I didn't because I listened to what everyone else was telling me, or whatever. Have today spark something inside of you where you're like, it's okay for me to want what I want because I want it for a reason. See, I don't have the desire to take a painting class. That's not part of my, my mom loves to paint. Like, I don't want to paint, but I'm obsessed with personal growth and development. I live it, breathe it. I'm a student of it. I have 15 different coaches. Like, I will invest all my money into consistently growing. That's all I care about, honestly. Like, well, not all, my son and my business, and my fiance, like my family and my business. Like, really, that's what it's boiled down to for me. And if it's not one of those things, I just don't even entertain it anymore. That's the level of commitment you need to have. Look at all the ways you let yourself get distracted every damn day. My phone is always on silent. I don't pick it up unless I have a scheduled call, ever. Unless it's an emergency, and an emergency is like someone's in the hospital. I don't answer my phone because I'm in my flow. But this is the shift in mindset. Like, you want something and it wants you, but you need to get so focused and not work hard 15 hours a day. No, because remember what I said, I don't work more than 4. But what I do is so focused and I have so much love and passion for it that it manifests more and more and more and more in different ways. So is this resonating for you guys today?
That was amazing. I think that's a perfect, I know it's September 10th, but in a way, the perfect start for September. And I think that since the next time we meet, it's only in about 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I think it's given us a lot to kind of think about and actually act on. Maybe next week in our closing, we can you can dive into where people kind of get tripped up when it comes to when they're in the thick of the process and during the manifestation, what sort of comes up so that we can continue to power through it. And I know that you have a really exciting offer coming up, and so I want to
totally. So a couple things. I think we can, so here's perfect because we're meeting in 2 weeks. So give yourself, here's what your homework is. Thanks, Gina. We're not done yet. Stay tuned for the next couple minutes. So your homework is for the next 2 weeks is pick one thing you're going to do every day as part of that goal, the 90-day goal. So like a walk, a podcast, a meditation, reading, writing content, whatever, anything that you want to get really consistent at. Don't get stuck on what it is. It's more about training your brain to do it no matter what. So honestly, it could be like anything. The second 2-week goal is focusing only on what you want, not what you don't want. And catching yourself when you go into gossip, drama, negative thinking, negative talking, stop yourself and remind yourself, Adele told me I can't talk about what I don't want to experience. Everyone says that they have like Adele on their shoulder. Like in my group, they're like, I hear your voice in my head. I'm like, good. Okay. And so you have those two things to do. Now, I feel like that's going to open up a lot for people. So our next session could be a combination of like a Q&A. It could be a combination of what's opening up for people. Like, let's actually deal with what people are dealing with. So let's leave it open to just be like, what are you dealing with in doing that for 2 weeks? Because it's going to show up like excuses, distractions, permission, this. Okay? Okay, cool. So, and I'll post this link in the chat and maybe you can post it to the group too. So if this is the first time you've ever heard me, and you like what you heard, I'm hosting a 4-week masterclass. It's part of what I call my masterclass series, and it starts October 7th. It's already almost 70% sold out. So if you want to do it, I'm going to put the link in. It is $297. It is very affordable. Okay. It's going up in price after September 24th. If you want to break through truly the stuff that's holding you back, and you liked what you saw here today, I wouldn't even overthink it and I would jump right on it because it's transformational. We go into inner child work, your imprints, your beliefs, what holds you back, how to heal them, deep meditation, mindfulness. I take you through all my stuff. It's one of my favorite courses I teach. It's beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to put the link here in the chat for people. And then maybe you can send it out too. But I would just honestly, this is an opportunity to take action and do something that scares you or do something that you know that's going to develop you. Okay. So that's that. coblueprint.co/masterclass. And then Kiki can put that also in the notes or whatever. Yeah.
Registrants as well for those that missed it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Adele. I'm excited to do our goals, and I feel so inspired. And so I know that everyone feels the same. So thank you so much.
I love this. I love this group. We've had lots of people from this community. Oops, it's my watch. Do my course, and they're in like various series of mine. I'm not trying to push this from a place of do the course, but I'm saying it, do the fucking course. Okay. If you want to have a radical, and the reason I priced it at that point was because through COVID, people were struggling. So I don't want cost to be a barrier. Like if $297 is triggering you, then you should really do the course. Because we talk about money mindset, abundance, imprints, being not enough, unworthy, all that stuff that shows up. And if you want to have a quantum leap and breakthrough, you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in yourself. You know why? You need to show yourself you feel worthy enough of it. When you invest in yourself, you tell your subconscious mind, I am worthy. Okay? So go do that. Go do that. I look forward to seeing you all in 2 weeks. We'll do the Q&A, open whatever forum style. Do your homework. Oh, I think we did share the link. I shared it right here, but Kiki will also share the link. But it's right there, CO Blueprint /masterclass. Okay? Love you all. Kiki, love you so much. I hope that you found today helpful. Yeah, love it. And we'll talk soon, okay?
Talk soon. Bye, gorgeous.
Bye.